Rangers could be about to pull off one of the most eye-catching transfer coups of the summer, a bold swoop for a frontman currently plying his trade at one of Europe's biggest clubs. The move, if completed, would send shockwaves through the Scottish game and hand the Ibrox side a major attacking boost after their slow start to the new campaign. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, former Rangers stopper Robin Propper has branded Scottish football as kick and rush, and full of impatient fans who demand the ball is lumped up the pitch. But the Twente and Shade defender admitted he enjoyed it. Propper left Rangers after only a year at Ibrox in what was a tough season for the 31-year-old, who was not in manager Russell Martin's plans for the new season. But in a scathing assessment of football in Scotland, Propper wasn't impressed with the mentality, as he explained in a Homeland interview. He said, "In Scottish football, the crowd wants everything to happen immediately. That's what people want. The ball has to be kicked towards the goal as soon as possible. You see a lot of one-on-one duels, which means you end up playing in large spaces. It's kick and rush. That's part of the culture. That's how football is played. It's a completely different dynamic to here. I'm not a true man marker, and you certainly see a lot of that there. My better games came in the Europa League, where we reached the quarterfinals deservedly. I rely on coaching and composure on the ball. That's why they brought me in, to make the transition to a more polished game. It was a different world for me, but it was wonderful to experience. Scotland truly breathes football. Footballers are revered. The nostalgia, the history, the sheer fanaticism in the stadiums. It's truly special." Celtic v Rangers has been a very special match for decades, and it still is, although Rangers unfortunately lost out in the significant games to Celtic. Rangers didn't win the title either, and then everything suddenly turned upside down. There was a new owner and a new manager. They brought in new players, including players in my position. I took my time to assess that, but I realised it would be a difficult situation. So unfortunately, my adventure in Scotland ended prematurely. Now in a shock move for a European giant striker, Gio Reyna could be set for one of the most unexpected transfer twists of the summer, with Rangers tipped as the ideal destination for the Borussia Dortmund playmaker. And the man championing the move, none other than Freddie Adu, the original US football prodigy, who believes Ibrox could be the launchpad Reyna needs to reignite his career. Reyna, son of former Rangers favourite Claudio Reyna, has endured a frustrating spell in Germany. Over the past year, his game time at Dortmund has been limited, yielding just 1 goal and 2 assists, a stark drop for a player once seen as the future of American soccer. For Adu, the solution is clear: leave Dortmund and do it now. As far as Gio goes, I'm the biggest fan, Adu told Unibet Online Casino. For the US national team, his skill set is so incredibly needed and pivotal to our success. We need a player like him in the midfield. I've always sung his praises, but seeing his situation now, oh man, it breaks my heart. He's so talented, yet it just hasn't worked out for him at Dortmund. Adu, who knows all too well the pressures of being a teenage sensation, believes that chasing the prestige of a big club can sometimes come at the expense of playing time, and that's exactly where Reyna finds himself now. Sometimes as players, we want to be at big clubs, but if it's not working out, you've got to find somewhere you're a key part of the team. At Rangers, he'd get that. He'd be on the pitch week in, week out, growing and improving. You don't get better by sitting on the bench. You can train all day, but it's games that take you to the next level. For the 22-year-old, the stakes couldn't be higher. With the 2026 World Cup on home soil fast approaching, Adu sees regular football as essential to Reyna's development and believes Rangers would offer him the platform and the trust he needs to thrive. I do think he's good enough to be a regular starter for Rangers, Adu added. When you're not constantly looking over your shoulder after a mistake, you can play with freedom. That's when you see the best version of a player. For Gio, this could be the move that sets him up perfectly for the World Cup, and this is a massive year for him. From the Bundesliga bench to the roar of Ibrox, if Adu's vision comes true, Reyna's career could be about to take a dramatic new turn. In other news, after Rangers' Champions League defeat to Victoria Pleasant, Russell Martin faced the media and delivered a candid assessment of his team's performance. He admitted to being disappointed we lost and equally unhappy with the number of chances conceded. In his view, much of the problem stemmed from being too loose with the ball against a side who had nothing to lose and pressed with aggression, often committing 4 players high up the pitch. Rangers did manage to play through that press in the first half and reach the final third regularly, but too often they squandered possession. I said to the attacking guys, it's not fair on the lads at the back who take the ball under big pressure. Jack Butland is finding you, and then you just turn it over so cheaply, he explained. I don't mind losing the ball if you're being aggressive, 1v1, trying to beat someone, but the lack of care was too much. Pleasant's opener forced Rangers to respond, and Martin felt his side improved after the break, eventually equalising, but he was frustrated by what came next. The level of intensity dropped, like, okay, job's done, we can relax. You can never relax, especially playing for this football club. In the closing stages, he saw encouraging signs as players like Kieran, Nedim and Danilo began protecting possession to see the game out in the opposition half, something he wants to see more consistently. The manager believes the result could have been very different if Rangers had been sharper in attack. We had so many counter-attacks, 3 versus 2, 4 versus 3, 2 versus 1, and they came to nothing. That last bit of execution and quality wasn't there tonight. Asked whether they might struggle against Club Brugge without improvement, Martin was blunt. If we don't show more care and quality on the ball, we'll struggle against anyone. He rejected the notion that his team's attacking ambition was to blame for losing control, insisting the issue was wastefulness rather than risk-taking. When we did play with a bit of care and quality, we looked fantastic at times, but the gap between our best moments and our worst is too big, and that will come down with work. While some might feel relief at progressing despite the defeat, Martin's emotions were different. I'm a little annoyed that we lost and disappointed with parts of the performance, but I also have to acknowledge there were moments we were really good, and that needs to be all the time. I really believe these players can be a top team. Even though we haven't been together long, they've shown in moments they can handle what we're doing. There was less positive news regarding Cyril Dessers, who left the stadium in a brace. It looks a nasty one, Martin admitted. We'll just have to wait for a scan and hope it's not too bad for the big man. One player who did earn glowing praise was goalkeeper Jack Butland. He's been amazing, so receptive, so good with the care he takes on the ball. Jack and the 2 centre-halves have been brilliant. They've had to take on a lot of information, and if everyone can match their intensity and mentality, we'll be fine. Looking ahead to Club Brugge, Martin acknowledged the challenge. They're a good team, it'll be a tough game. But especially at Ibrox, and I think we'll have the first leg at home, that can be really powerful for us. We have to embrace it and put in a performance we're happy with to set up the second leg. Today's video, thank you for watching, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you, I'll see you in the next video.